y'all, it's 7-Year Witch. We're here to tell you about our last tour with Buckcherry. Here we go. We kicked the tour off on May 27th. We hit up Little Rock, Arkansas, Tempe, Arizona, Las Vegas. Got to see the desert for the first time.
Yeah, the painted desert.
A lot of the trip out there was along Route 66.
And Spencer got a boomerang. We got to throw boomerangs. Oh, we lost our boomerang on top of a gas station.
We end up at this bar called Ernie's.
Ernie's. Sounds cool. Funny name. Awful. Nasty, nasty, nasty.
Our first show with Buckcherry in California was at Port Hueneme.
We're getting ready to play. Seth drops his phone, shatters it.
It's cracked.
We got to go to the beach, that West Coast, for the first time ever. We actually got to meet Brett Scallions from Fuel.
After Port Hueneme, we made our way to Los Angeles, California. We were on the Viper Room's marquee and the Whiskey A Go Go's marquee.
The show at the Whiskey was sold out.
We were doing our sound check. The venue was having all types of just technical difficulties with our monitors. More vocals in one, give you more kick drum in the other, and less bass guitar in one, give you more guitar in the other. Before the show even started, we went to the Rainbow Bar and Grill with our good friend Cool Uncle Tim, who bought us cereal one time.
So thank you, Uncle Tim.
It was kind of hilarious backstage. We were all just psyching ourselves out. I caught Aaron doing some deep breathing, literally praying to God this went well. I think played the best show of the entire tour. It was awesome.
Shoulder to shoulder. The atmosphere was great. The best first experience you could ask for playing at the Whiskey.
And afterwards we got to go back to the Rainbow for a little while and hang out. We got treated like rock stars there.
Okay, so we played the Whiskey. Greatest days and nights of our lives, immediately followed by one of the worst days I've ever lived.
The Hollywood sign isn't very easy to get to. Take a picture with the Hollywood sign, that's all we wanted. Going through the neighborhoods trying to get there. We need to turn back. Our rig is too big. These are one-way streets. There's cars parked on the side, mailboxes, trash cans. It gets 10 trillion times worse.
Some old dude in his Prius pulls up in front of us, like coming the opposite direction. He's like hands in the air, flipping out. He starts like yelling at us. He's so mad and just like jerking his car around. He wrecks and hits one of those cars. We ended up having to do like 30-point turns.
That was the most stressed I'd ever been.
So we managed to get out of this neighborhood and we just said, screw the Hollywood sign.
Our next show was in San Diego at a place called the Holding Company. The stage here is like small for like the type of show we're trying to do.
Some lady spilled beer on our merch and then got mad at us for it.
You can't just park at a Walmart,
Hell
sleep
no.
in the parking lot.
A security guard showed up after we had all went to sleep and was like beating on the fucking windows. When you get so sleep deprived, you will hallucinate. Coach House is funny. Everyone was seated.
If you go to a venue, they don't move the chairs until everybody's going to be sitting down eating. Got a standing ovation at the end. That was really cool. Staff was extremely friendly and we got food.
The fish was terrible.
The fish was fucking awful.
Yeah.
But the first bite I took, I thought it was amazing. The second bite, I was like, this is decent. The third bite, I was dead.
The people really liked it because
Yeah.
they were eating that goddamn swordfish and anything was better than this shit.
Headed back to the Sunset Strip for the second time for the Viper Room.
Yeah, that was without Buckcherry. Honestly, I was more nervous at the Viper Room than I was at the Whiskey. They have this curtain that's like in front of the stage, and then the curtain just draws back, and there are these people up in there. You know, of course, I guess that's how a show works. But we played really well. It was actually a good show, and the people were super ecstatic, super responsive. After we finished up, the manager that night, Tommy, he really liked us. He dug us.
He's like, I'll lock the doors and we're just gonna party here. And we're like, shit yeah, because he loved us. But at one point, I felt like I was getting sick. Got on top of the van, and like everything was spinning. The security guard walked out, do you want to come back inside? And I was like, no.
Literally everybody was sick, drunk, puking on the side of the street. It's kind of hilarious, honestly. Slept in the parking lot and then hit the road the next morning. The next show we had was in Long Beach, Alex's Bar. We were violently hungover that day because that was the day after the Viper Room. Fun fact about Alex's Bar, there's a scene in Tenacious D in the movie was filmed at the bar. It's also Bo's birthday.
Hot as hell that day, I decided to take a sweat nap in the van with all the windows rolled up.
And Bo was like in his underwear with like a towel wrapped around his head. And I could see sweat like dripping like a waterfall from. He could have died like a forgotten dog in like a grocery store parking lot.
Yeah. After we played, there was a DJ playing only 80s synth pop, dancing all night. That was great.
We get a call from our manager. Got some bad news for y'all. Josh from Buckcherry has actually caught COVID. There was about 3 or 4 shows that we knew weren't going to be able to happen.
I'm going down the road, boom, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I thought we busted a tire. I pull over to the side of the interstate. Our right trailer tire was like cockeyed, and so we had a bent trailer axle. kind of a bummer because we just got the trailer.
We have to find a shop. They stay open after hours to fix the thing.
We had to drive 2 hours with the crooked wheel just to get to that shop. And that got us to Chickasha, Oklahoma for our next show with Buckcherry. We were hoping that Josh Taub made full recovery. Luckily he did. It was an outdoor stage. It was like freaking 5 billion degrees outside. We did really good in merch that night, made a lot of new friends.
The next day, we're driving down the road. Every few feet, there's like 5 prairie dogs. What the hell? There was like 1,000 freaking prairie dogs. This is an absurd amount of prairie dogs for no fucking reason.
They were popping out like my hemorrhoids, dude. I'll tell you what. Except they weren't bleeding.
Yeah.
But
Yet.
anyway.
We hit up a movie theater to watch Morbius, which is the worst movie ever created.
It's been like 30 minutes, and I go up to the front. I'm like, "Hey, the movie's not started." And they're like, "Oh, really? We'll get that started." It's not a good movie.
People are throwing their drinks.
Yeah, all 8 people are throwing their drinks at the screen.
Next show is in Houston, Texas, at a place called Rise Rooftop. I just didn't think our van was gonna make it up that ramp with the trailer on. It was struggling.
When I was backing up that thing, I was so nervous, but we made it up. Man, that place packed out.
It was my birthday that day. One of the crew guys was like, "Oh shit, it's your birthday. Let's go to this brewery before the show." And I tried this beer. This shit's like a smoothie. Nasty as shit. I forgot to eat. I didn't eat all day. I pick up some Chipotle so I can just eat something before I go on stage.
So when I went in there, it smelled like sewage.
Overpriced and nasty as they come. When I was playing on stage, hot and vomity taste, and my trout right here, as nasty as they come, brother. On our way back home, we did 2 shows with Hinder.
This next show is Lafayette's in Memphis with Hinder. Sold out for Hinder. A great show, man. The crowd loved us. We got to that merch table. It was just kind of insane there for a little bit.
Some lady literally bought the shirt off of my back. $40 later, I was shirtless.
The next show, nearly a month at this point, Nashville at the Basement East.
Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, where dreams go.
To die. Got to play a short 20-25 minute set. By the time we got done, we were at the merch table. We're in like this dark freaking cavern in the corner. We had to drive home from Nashville. It's only about 3.5, actually about 5 hours I think is what it was. We had a homecoming show back in Greenville at the Radio Room. It was a sold out show. I've never seen the Radio Room that packed. It was a great show. Fucking awesome.
Perfect way to end the tour.
Yeah.